So I'm back out in the mountains again, testing some different saws here today, and brought a new one with me. This is a Silky Sugoi 420, and you know, it's Silky saws getting a lot of attention right now, all the rage. Ton of good reviews, different models, got Big Boy, Katana Boy. I decided to go with the Sugoi. It's a one-piece saw versus a folding saw, and one of the things that kind of swayed me here was that this one has solid steel from the end of the blade all the way down through the tip of the handle. Some of the folding saws, well, all the folding saws, the blade only basically goes up to the pivot point. And I watched a couple of guys, saw some reviews, and that seems to be kind of the one complaint with this saw, is that if you get really aggressive with it, if you use it improperly, they can have a tendency to break here at that hinge point. So whether those guys were you know, abusing the saw or whatever, I decided to go this way. I like the curved handle. It's more of a familiar position for me. I'm used to sawing like this, so that's a little bit of a compromise. So so yeah, you know, not a cheap saw by any means. I'm going to say this is by far the most expensive saw that I have, over $100 compared to every other saw I have, which is in the $35 to $40 range. So I made a couple of cuts, done some comparisons with this one. Different motion on the pull strokes, that's going to take a little bit to get used to. But for this purpose of this test, I'm going to put this saw, this Silky Sugoi 420, up against this guy. This is a 30-inch bow saw, and I've had this saw for probably 30 years. And I had the original blade in it until just the day before yesterday. When I bought this saw brand new, I bought a second blade with it, and I never put it in. The first blade lasted me almost 30 years. So for the special occasion here, I installed the new blade. So we'll see how, you know, it's a fairly inexpensive bow saw. You know, I'm sure it's a $20 blade in there. How a saw like this compares to a precision piece of work like this one. So I'm going to go ahead first with the bow saw. We're going to cut that 7-inch log behind me, pine deadfall, and see how we do. First the bow saw, then the Silky. All right. Now, one thing I know about this bow saw, it's hard to get a straight cut. So I'm going to see if I can do a 1-inch slice with this saw and see how long it takes. Okay, so we made it through. You know, nothing really unexpected there. 7-inch deadfall log. It's a bit of work to cut that. Again, kind of what I expected from this saw. Fairly aggressive tooth. The other thing is it's very hard to get a straight cut with this. I can tell you right now that you're never going to be able to rip boards out of a log like this, like I did on a video here about a week ago. I actually ripped some planks. So this is not the saw for that. You're always going to be restricted to, you know, whatever you can cut from this distance. Yes, you can roll your log, move your move your saw around, but that's thin, kind of wobbly blade. That's the limitations of this saw. So let's go ahead and put the Silky to work, see how it compares to this one. Got a little pile of slices going beside me here. Gonna take those home and do something with them. I don't know what, but I'm not wasting anything out here. Okay, here's the Silky Sugoi 420. I don't know, we'll start out down here with this one, see how we do. Change positions a little bit here. Okay, there we go. So you guys tell me, was that faster or slower than the bow saw? It was hard for me to tell. Different muscle motion for sure, pulling instead of pushing, so that's going to take a little bit to get used to. For whatever reason on this one, and I have made cuts with this saw before, it really started to wander on me sideways, so did not get that slab straight, although I know this saw is capable of doing that. So maybe that's because I started out low and then had to switch to high. So all in all, you know, pretty impressed with this saw. Different saw to get used to, but I'm going to continue to bring it out, use it, and see what I can't do with it in the future. All right, bow saw versus Silky. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take it easy.